we apologize that we are still here. We told you at the beginning in my opening statement what we expected for you to hear about Ms. Sue's conduct, and I'm just going to briefly review what I think you have now heard. This 10-day emergency expulsion was because Alex prepared and posted posters unauthorized before the protest. We believe you also heard that she did so in part by skipping class to prepare posters. We believe you've heard that she solicited students to attend by waving, not waving high, but beckoning. We believe you've seen protest posts showing even if you don't care, just come to skip class, LOL. We believe we've proved that through social media posts on a more likely than not basis, it was Alex's Instagram account which shared an intention to create chaos and feed this bullshit metaphorical fire. We believe we've proved that she was given an express instruction by an assistant principal of her school about where to take the students she was leading and point blank refused. We believe you've heard evidence that the location actually chosen by the students was more disruptive, affected up to 18 classes whose windows faced that courtyard, and that's much more so than if they had gone to the West End where directed. We believe it's beyond dispute that Ms. Sue engaged in the use of obscenity, specifically leading chants using the F word directed at administrators of her school. We believe that it's undisputed she named at least one student as an abuser, and in a way that caused that student's father to withdraw him from school that day, causing a complete disruption of his educational experience. We believe that we've proved that Alex played a role in the climate of the crowd. And that's a tough one, right? Because how do you parse out the pieces of a puzzle like that? I mean, we're seeing that play out in national politics. What do you put on an individual actor who plays a bit piece in a much bigger drama? But we believe it's clear from the testimony you've heard that Alex's conduct contributed both inside and outside towards absolute disrespect of the student body towards their principal, assistant principals, by name in sexually violent and graphic ways, which is, of course, the irony of this, right? At a protest.
So, no one throughout the testimony has alleged that Alex said anything sexually violent about administrators. That's inflammatory, and it's not appropriate to bring it up only in closing arguments. I'm sorry, I have to object to that.
Objection noted. Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
Because Alex's conduct caused or contributed to the student body's absolute disrespect towards the administrators. We believe you can find by a preponderance that it was the Instagram account of Alex Sue that afterwards, after we called lockdown, after police had responded to the property, posted, "Don't be quiet, keep protesting," that Alex intended to keep this going, and that was at a time where there had already been a substantial disruption. We talked about Bethel and Fraser. We talked about a school's need to be able to discipline obscene, vulgar, lewd speech. And in short, there was no option short of this for the decision makers in the room that day. The last thing we believe you've heard is that there was proportionality, to make that really simple. People who'd engaged in similar behaviors got similar punishments. And you can parse this out by individual acts and ask whether students who only swore were expelled. Well, no, of course not. Were students who only stuck up Post-it notes expelled? No, of course not. But you've heard evidence all night long that Alex fit into all of the categories of people or groups of students who were disciplined. She was a planner, was a promoter, she was a speaker, and she engaged in the acts herself of yelling those obscenities through the megaphone towards her administrators. So at the end of the day, we'd ask that you would uphold the emergency expulsion. As you know, we are on the end of school day 10. Alex is scheduled to be back at school tomorrow morning. So we would ask that you look at this through the lens of the WACs that apply and apply that administrative code and find that she did in fact cause and continue to be a risk of causing substantial disruption. Thank you.